Hi everyone, welcome to DIY Ideas. Today I'm going to show you how you can make a headband or an Alice band, and I'm going to show you all that you need for it. So let's get started. So we're going to need just a couple of basic things. So fabric scissors, pins, something to measure with, and then of course thread in the matching color to the fabric, and fabric chalk or anything else to mark your fabric with that you can later wash out. And then of course the Alice band or the headband, you can find something you already have at home, or you can buy something cheap and then we can decorate it. So I'm going to use a little bit wider one, but of course you can use a little bit narrower one, so half of this width I guess. So we can use different things to decorate. Here I have some fabric, but I'm also going to show you here a little bit narrower band that we can go all around, and I'm going to use it for the endings here. So yeah, you can also use a hot glue gun or any other kind of glue that you prefer, so that we can have this ending right here nice and neat. So as far as the fabric goes, you can choose pretty much whatever you want or have. You have all the freedom you want there. Here I have something a little bit more fancy, so it looks like satin, and of course you can use something else like you see here in the corner, so some reddish fabric or maybe even some faux leather or something like that, or something like this that has a really nice pattern. Okay, so now we're at the cutting part of our project. So here is the fabric that I'm going to use, and you can probably notice it's pretty transparent, so that's why I folded it in half so that I have a little bit more layers on there so that it's a little bit less transparent. So we need to measure the width of our headband or our Alice band. So here you can see it's about 2.5, a little bit over it, almost 3 centimeters. So all around this would be about 5 centimeters from the front and the back. So then I'm going to add about 0.5 centimeter on each side for the stitches, which means that I'm going to do 8 centimeters total. So the 5 plus, or a little bit over 5 plus 1 centimeter on each side. And yeah, this fabric is pretty elastic, but also pretty thin. So I'm going to cut out a strip that's 8 centimeters wide here, and then here, as the band gets a little bit narrower at the end, I'm just going to fold it inwards and make it look nice, and then I'm going to hide the very ending here with some extra band. And in case you have a band that's really narrower at the ends than at the top, then you might need to do that with the fabric as well, so make it a little bit narrower on both ends. And it's definitely a lot easier if you have a little bit stretchier fabric, because you need to pull it over this section right here. So yeah, in my case, I'm gonna do 8 centimeters width, and then let's see what the length is. So for my headband, it's 36 centimeters, which means plus the 1 centimeter for the stitches, so that's 37. So I'm gonna cut that out now. Okay, so now that we have this cut out, we can get to the pinning and the stitching part so that we can have everything put together. So I folded this in half, and now I'm going to fold it in half one more time. And then here I'm going to do a stitch on this open side, and then I'm going to turn it inside out. Okay, so now that we did all of this, we can get to the next step, which is putting it on our headband. So in case you want a different style, I'm going to tell you what you can also alternatively do. So here, instead of a normal stitch or a straight stitch on the inside, you can do a wider stitch and basically make it a little bit ruffled on there. In that case, you're going to need a longer length, which means you're going to need a little bit longer piece of fabric, and then you can basically pull on the both ends of the thread and make it more or less ruffled and then tie a knot there. So I have a video on that if you'd like to see that, so feel free to check it out on my channel. So in that case, just make sure that you're going to need a little bit more fabric, so at least 1.5 times more or 2 times the length that we have here originally. Okay, so now that we did this step, this is what it looks like. So here I have a little bit of fabric. So it's the same thing as on the headband. In this case, I used also 8 centimeters. And this time actually a little bit narrower than the original. And then, so yeah, as before, I basically folded it in half, folded it one more time, did a stitch, turned it inside out. And then additionally, an extra step we didn't do last time is a little stitch here on the one end, and then the same thing on the other as well. So I'm gonna do a knot or a bow on top. If you have a little bit longer piece, you can do a bow. And yeah, we're basically taking it from the inside and just tying a knot on top. And then we can put the leftover bits or the open ends on the inside of our headband. And then you can basically take your hot glue gun or any other kind of glue and glue it on there, or you can do an extra stitch by hand if you'd like right here. So yeah, those are the 2 options. Now we just need to fix the endings. So what I'm going to do is take the ends and then kind of fold them inwards like this. So you can make it like that, and then you're going to be able to see it a little bit, but it's still going to look pretty cute. And yeah, you can fold it the way you like it, and then basically fold it to the inside. And then I'm going to take some bias tape or any other decorative tape you'd like, go around twice or maybe even 3 times. There we go. So it should be pretty tight on there. And then when we're satisfied, we can put a little bit of glue here on the inside, let it dry nicely, and that way it's going to be done. You can also stitch it on here, but I think glue is going to hold a little bit better. There we go. I think this looks pretty good right now. I'm really satisfied. And yeah, you can of course take a different color, something that matches the fabric a little bit more. I actually like the contrast, but you can do this any way you like. Here on the top, I think the knot looks really good. And as I said, you can do here some ruffles, or you can just leave it straight as it is in my case. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. And if you did, feel free to shoot a thumbs up and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye!